Om Shruti Shruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine व्योमवत् व्याप्त देहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्ध ज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशांताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। As any grantha which talks about Atma Jnanam, this too is a dialogue between teacher and student. And in all these dialogues, generally you will find that while the Upadesha is being given, there is usually no interruption. It is knowledge which is, for want of a better word, absolutely subtle, requires concentration, requires thinking and a lot of vichara. However, every once in a while, in the midst of this very heavy knowledge being transferred, the student will ask some question. You've seen Arjuna's typical question. Till he finally understood, hopefully by the 18th chapter, he kept asking, why should I not take sannyasa now? That's all his question, all the way. Second chapter onwards, he will ask the same thing. Something he will ask. The idea is that the student is looking for moksha jnanam. He is a mumukshu. And perhaps jignasu, one who really wants to know. And Shastra is very good. It says, if you have the right teacher, you will get it. There is a lot of preparation that you have to do. The fact that you have access to this knowledge, the fact that you have found a guru, all that indicates that certain Atma Shuddhi is already done. Then it's a matter of time. Acharyavan Purusha Veda. Shastra itself says this. As long as you have the correct Acharya teacher, you will get it. Just keep it going. Now, the last few verses, Yamadharma Raja has been talking about the nature of Atma. He has already replied to Nachiketa, whose primary question was that Vichikitsa, Asti Tete Nasti Eke. Some people say there is something, some people say there is not. If there is, what is the nature of that? That which survives the Sharira. That which is beyond Dharma, which transcends Punya Papa. What is the nature of that? And all this is given so far in this last few verses, mantras, ended up by saying that the one who recognizes this in every jiva, including himself, is a Dhira Purusha. One could ask a question. Dhira Purusha means a jnani. Does the one who recognizes this Ekameva Advitya Brahman in everything, does he become the Dhira Purusha? Or does the Dhira Purusha, one is a Dhira Purusha and therefore one recognizes this? Which is the right thing? It's a question that we cannot ask. I am not yet a jnani, that is why I am trying. I am trying to attend classes, do Shravanam, Mananam. If I am not a jnani, then how will I know? Again, if you go back to the last couple of mantras, Yamadharmaraja talked about the phalam. What is that phalam? Shashvatam Sukham or Shashvata Shanti, which is different from the Sukham and Shanti that we experience. In our lives, we do experience Shanti and Sukham in small bits and pieces called Lesha. But that is not the Shanti or Sukham he's talking about here. Every Sukham that you can gain in this Jagat can be quantified, can be measured in some form. Can be made relative. That Sukham is higher than this Sukham. That Dukkham is higher than this Dukkham. In fact, I saw a analysis somewhere which talks about what is the highest dukkha a person can have. This is also a question Dharmaraja was asked by the Yaksha. What is the highest dukkha? And in that analysis, they said the death of a child is the highest dukkha. Then they have a whole list of other things. Of course, Americans, so you can imagine what they will say. Divorce is the next highest. Shifting home is another dukkha. All that is listed. The fact is, it can be compared. Shastra also recognizes these are all experiential sukha. And experiential sukha means there is an experiencer and there is an experience and an object of experience. It's experiential sukha. That obviously is not what we are looking for. That sukha that we are searching for, which Shastra calls Shashvatam Sukham, cannot be measured, cannot be identified, cannot be expressed in words, because it is your very nature. But every other sukha can be given a measurable number. Taittiriya Upanishad does this in an elaborate way. Yuva syat sadhu yuva dhyayakaha. Let us assume there is one yuva, young man. Sadhu yuva, a very, very accomplished young man, very good young man. A man who is a noble young man, sadhu yuva, and an adhyayakaha, who has learnt all the scriptures, who knows all the scriptures, who knows all the Vedas, and is ashishtaha, drishtaha, balishtaha. Ashishtaha is dynamic, energetic, full of life, and very determined, very resolute, dhrashtaha, and balishtaha, one of the strongest on the earth. Now imagine this individual, young man, noble young man, learned young man, strong young man, energetic, dynamic young man, and very firm, very resolute young man. And so just assume for a minute, Iyam sarva prithvi purna vittasya tasya saha. The entire wealth available on the earth is his to command. So he defined a metric. The ananda he feels, the sukha he feels, can be considered 1 unit of sukha. Eka manusha ananda. 1 unit of sukha. Now we can compare ourselves. So where are we? I'm not young. I don't own much in terms of wealth. I'm not very strong. I have all kind of problems. In every measure that you have listed for the young man, I don't fit in. So maybe I have a fraction of 1 Manushya Ananda. But it's measurable. And then the Upanishad goes on talking about other levels of Ananda in other lokas. Pitraloka, Devaloka, etc., etc. Each one 100 times more than this. As it is, this is a very high level of Ananda, higher, 100 times higher, 100 times higher, 100 times higher, 100 times higher. You can still measure it. But it is all measurable sukha, which means what? That means on a scale. But none of this, even after 100 to the power of 9 of this already very high level of sukha, Ananda, is still not the Shashvatam Sukham we are looking for. It is a very high level of Sukha, but it is not Shashvatam Sukham. Because all of these are still experiential Sukha with an experiencer, experience, and an object of experience. The one that Yamadharmaraja has explained to Nachiketa is Shashvatam Sukham, is what this Dhira Purusha will get. One who recognizes this Atma as the self. Nachiketa is thinking, how do I understand this? How do I recognize this Atma as I? Therefore, how do I recognize this Atmananda, Shashvatananda? So having heard all this and perhaps thought about it, he says to Yamadharmaraja, Tatedati manyante.
Tatedati manyante.
Can you put this on? Anirdeshyam paramam sukham.
Anirdeshyam paramam sukham.
Tatham tu tad vijaniyam.
Bashyam tad
Kimu bhati vibhati va.
Kimu
bhati
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 bhati.
This paramam sukham that you talked about, hey Dharmaraja, paramam sukham, it is anirdeshyam. It is not measurable. It is not available for any of the known ways of describing it. It is anirdeshyam. Nirdesha is that can be told. Anirdeshyam. That Ananda, Atmananda, That Atmananda is I. Iti dhiraha manyante. The Dhira Purusha, they understand this to be I, the nature of I. Look at the perceptiveness of Nachiketa. He is making a statement that this Ananda is not experiential Ananda. I understand that. This Ananda is recognized by the Dhiraha as the self, as I. Now the question he asked earlier, or at least I suppose he thought about, Dhira Purusha know this. We are not Dhira Purusha, we are yet only Jignasus at best. How will we know? How can you know something which is, you yourself said, is unknowable, anirdeshyam? All this time I have been asking you this question because I want to understand. I want to understand what you've described as I itself. How can I know this? Because in both the previous mantras, there is one last word. While it says Dhira Purusha know it, but it is not available for others. Na itaresham. I fall into the others category. How am I going to know it? You say Dhira Purusha will know it. But listen, all this while patiently I've been listening to you because I want to know. How will I know it? This Paramam Sukham, Shashvatam Sukham that you talked about with the Dhira Purusha know as the self, as the very nature of self, from Swarupa, Katham tu tad vijaniyam. How can we vijaniyam? Uttama Purusha Bhavachanam. How can we know it? Already you've said others cannot know it, not available to others. I fall into the others category. How can we know? Kimmu bhati vibhati va. Does it reveal itself? How does it reveal itself? Where does it reveal itself? When does it reveal itself? How can I know? This is his question. I have understood this Atma that you have described. But what you have said is that the one who recognizes this as the only thing, Aikyam, is the Dhira Purusha. How do I recognize it? Will it reveal itself? Will the Atma, as long as you think of it, will it reveal itself means you are still not knowing. How do I know it is I? How do I figure it out? This is his question. Does it shine, bhati, and shine so clearly that I will know? Vibhati. This is his question. Paramam Sukham is indescribable, anirdeshyam. This Sukham, Dhira Purusha, no. As the self, as my Swarupa, how will we know? Will it reveal itself? What can I do? Where and how and when will it reveal itself? So he says this, which Bhashyakara very beautifully expands in his Bashyam. Should you put the Bashyam on? Yeah. Yattadatma Vijnanam
Yatadatmam Vijnanam
Sukham Anirdeshyam
Sukham
Sukham
Nirveshyam.
Manushyam
Nirdeshum Ashakyam
Nirdesham Ashakya.
Nirveshyam Ashakyam
Paramam Prakrishtam
Paramam Prakishtam.
Paramam Prakishtam
Prakrita Purusha Vang manasoho agocharam
Prakrita-purusham
Vang manasoho
manasopi
sad nivrtaishanaha
Sat Nivartaishanaha
ye brahmanaha
Ye Brahmanaha
brahmanaha
tad etat pratyakshameva iti
Tat Yetat Pratyakshameva iti
manyante.
Manyante.
He is making a statement. There's not even a question yet. Yat etad atma vijnanam. This knowledge, atma vijnanam, this consciousness, maybe consciousness principle, chaitanyam, which you so nicely told us about, which is anirdeshyam sukham, not available for any measure, not available for description, not available for feeling. All these feeling, description, words, mind, etc. can be used only for experiential sukha. This sukha, which is nirdeshtum ashakyam, not bound by any, not recognizable at all. It is not on any scale. High level, medium level, low level, not on any scale. How am I going to know this? He says, nirdeshtum ashakyam paramam prakrishtam. Even because our thinking is still going in terms of comparative or at best superlative, I can see that sukha goes higher and higher and higher and higher on a scale, and on that scale, prakrishtam, uttamam, but it's not on the scale. But my mind still thinks on a scale. So paramam prakrishtam, that which is beyond the ken of our normal thinking, prakrita purusha vang manasayoho agocharam api. I understand that for the normal people like me, this is not accessible through vak, through words, through mind, vak, manasayoho, either vak or manas, agocharam, it is not accessible. Those senses that I have cannot get me. All the five senses that I have cannot get me. The words cannot get me. Mind cannot get me. For normal people, from where my birds go and return without success, manasa saha, not accessible. Manasayoho agocharam, this sat for brahmanaha. Brahmanaha here means the wise people, the dhira purushaha, not the brahmana kshatriya, that brahmana. Brahmanaha, ye brahmanaha, what kind of brahmanaha he describes? Nivritta aishanaha, who are not in any way bound by their normal desires of human beings. Nivritta aishanaha, very beautiful phrase. Because all along Shastra is telling us that any desire which is driven by raga dvesha will hold you back. But desire is normal. All all Aishanas, whether it's Vittaishana, Putraishana, Lokaishana, are all normal. What you have to do is to make sure that while they exist, they don't bind you. They become non-binding Aishanas. This is what Dhirapurusha is able to do. Nivritta Aishanaha, the Brahmanaha, ye Nivritta Aishanaha, te tad etat pratyaksham eva iti manyante. They understand, they are clear that this is I. Pratyaksham eva. Tattvamasi. And that word used was tad etad iti. Tad etad iti is what? That is this. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. You can extend it. They understand that. They understand the self to be this Ananda Swarupa. The non-measurable, non-experiential Atma Sukha is I. Pratyakshameva iti manyante. Okay. How? Katham.
Katham
Katham nu comes from the Mula Mantra. Katham nu.
Katham
Katham
no
no
Kena prakarena.
Kena
Kena
prakarena
prakarena
Tat sukham aham vijaniyam.
Tat
Tat
sukham
Sukham aham
aham
vijaniyam.
vijaniyam
Idamiti atma buddhi vishayam
Idam
Idam
iti
Idam
iti
iti
buddhi vishayam
atma
atmabuddhaya
buddhi vishayam
vishayam.
apadayeyam
Apadayam
Apadayeyam.
Apadayam
yata nivritta vishayeshanaha
यथा
Yata
Yata
Visheshana
nivrttayishanaha.
yatayaha.
Yatayata
Yataya
Yatayaha is
ऋषि
sannyasis. The one who make the appropriate effort is called yatna is effort. Yatayaha is the ones who make appropriate effort in the right direction. Sannyasis are called yati. Yataha is the plural. Yatayaha, how does it become a sannyasi? Because one has taken control of one's raga dvesha. That which drives us to various vishayas desired by the senses. So he says, those yatayaha nivritta vishaya aishanaha, who have recognized the uselessness of vishayas, samsara vishayas. Like they do, yatha, they are able to see it because they have understood that this is not what I want. What I want is that sukha swarupa jnanam. How it says, kena prakarena, tat sukham, this paramam sukham, aham vijaniyam, how will I know it? Like the sannyasis can know it because they have been able to take total charge of their ragadvesha. Idam iti aham buddhi vishayam apadayeyam. Next phrase. Know clearly that this is I, apadayeyam. It is to be known. I am this. I is this Ananda Swarupa. Like the sannyasis who have been able to take control of ragadvesha, nivritta vishaya aishanaha, yatayaha, yatha, how can I also know? Because I want to know. I'm still thinking in third person. That Atma, that Brahman. What I want to know is Atma iti eva Brahman. Brahman aham. This I want to know, the oneness of all of these. Yatayaha know this. Dhira Purushaha know this. They're able to see this. How can I see this? Will it reveal itself to me? Kimu, let's read this also. Kimu
Kimu
tadbhati
Tadbhati
dipyate
Dipyate
prakashatmakam tat
Prakashatmakam
Prakashatmakam tad
yatah asmad buddhi gocharatvena
Yataha
Yatah
asmad buddhi
Asmad Buddhi
gocharatvena
vibhati
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 vispashtam drishyate
vishpashtam
Vishpashtam
drishyate
Drishyate
kim va neti.
kimmani
Kimvaneti
Does it reveal itself? Kim u tat bhati. Does it shine for me also? Bhati means dipyate. Prakashatmakam tat, that which is self-revealing, self-effulgent. Yataha asmad buddhi gocharatvena. Asmad shabda, aham. That is aham. To understand that, will it reveal itself to me? Clearly, without any problem, without any doubts, without any shanka anywhere. Vibhati. Visheshana bhati. Without any possible doubt, it's a Visheshana bhati. In fact, Bhashyakara says, Vispashtam drishyate. Spashtam, we use it also in many languages, Indian languages. Spashtama Swaranam. Clearly, without any doubt, without any confusion. Vispashtam drishyate, will it reveal itself or no? Kimba neti, will it reveal itself? Therefore, will I know? Will I gain this knowledge of the self being this Swarupa, Ananda Swarupa, Sukha Swarupa, Shanti Swarupa? Iti Nachiketa is asking. And to that, Dharmaraja goes to the last mantra in this section and takes up this question. We have several luminous bodies in the Jagat, or at least what we call luminous bodies. So if you look at it from the point of view of sight, we have luminous bodies in the form of sun, moon, stars, fire, lightning. All of these are luminous bodies. If you look at this as the equivalent of Laukika experiential Sukha, something else is there which reveals all these also. They are really no different from other non-luminous bodies, opaque bodies in this Jagat. Even in the Jagat, we can have an example. The sun is one. Sun's heat and light can be reflected with any reflecting surface. But it can never be like the original sun, heat or light. Although, I don't know how many of you have tried this. As children, we used to play with a magnifying glass. You concentrate all the sun rays on a piece of paper and burn the paper and get thrilled. You can do that. But the original sun is the original sun. Its heat is the original heat. Its light is the original light. Everything is only reflected heat and light. Similarly, even the sun, moon, stars, etc., they get their shine, they get their properties from something else. That's something else. It's the Chaitanyam that you're looking for. And that does not require another thing to reveal it. The sun shines, and there are two types of bodies on this earth. One which is a reflective body, one which is an opaque body. The sun shines on both. Even if you don't see the sun, the reflective surface can give you heat and light. The non-reflective surface is revealed by the sun, or even revealed by the reflected sun. Like that in the Jagat, Chaitanyam reveals luminous objects. Chaitanyam also reveals non-luminous objects. But non-luminous objects can also be revealed by reflected sunlight. Therefore, to us, it looks like sun is the ultimate. But we have to think about it, and it says, sun is not the ultimate. Even the sun has to have another vastu which will reveal the sun. Sun cannot reveal itself. It shines because of something else. Sun is also only anubhati. It is not bhati. Although it looks like bhati from here. So, Yamadharmaraja takes up this question and answers Nachiketa saying that there is this one Chaitanyam, consciousness principle, which is what lights up everything. What looks to us like self-revealing sun, moon, fire, ityadi, is not really revealing by themselves. They are being revealed by Chaitanya Atma. And that Chaitanya Atma, the answer to the question is self-revealing. All we have to do is to get ourselves ready in a position where we can actually see it. I want to know the truth of the self. It can be known only when the I goes, because I is a mistake. The want goes, because all desires what create the want. I goes, what is left is only the truth. And that is revealing itself. So in terms of preparation, I have to accept my error in terms of I, and I have to also understand that what is covering this is my wanting. I want. Both those drop through various means of preparation, karma yoga, shamadhamadi shatka sampathyeti. Then I stand revealed. Srimad Dharmaraja says, very beautiful shloka, which very familiar to all of us. It is also the same identical word for which shloka is also there in Kathopanishad. And it is a shloka we use very often when you do arti. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam.
न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न
भाति चन्द्रतारकम्
Nema vidyuto bhanti kutoyam agnihi.
नेमा
भान्ति
विद्युतो
कुतोऽयमग्निः
यमग्निः
Tameva bhantamanubhati sarvam.
तमेव भाति सर्वम्
Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati.
तस्य
तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति
Acharya introduces this verse by saying, Atra uttaram idam bhati cha vibhati cha iti. Katham. How does this reveal itself? clearly and totally here. Vibhati is Visheshena Bhati. Totally reveals itself. And this Natatra Suryo Bhati na Chandra Tarakam mantra we use for Arati using the camphor. You will notice when you in the temple, the Garbhagraham is dark. There are no lights in the Garbhagraham. The only light you have is the light of the camphor. So the Pandit called Gurukul in many places actually shows the image of the Lord in whatever form it is there in the temple, all the way from the bottom or to the top, it is revealed by this camphor light. And you'll often say, Parungo, Bhagavana Parungo. So you show the whole image. And we see it in this camphor light, which also goes off after a little while. It reveals, this is the knowledge which reveals Brahman and then goes also. Why does it go? Because like Ananda, I said, is experiential Ananda, this knowledge is also Laukika knowledge only. It has to go. What is left is after removing the Jnanam, this also has to go. And what is left is only the self-revealing Atma. Atma Bodha. Shankaracharya is very nice. It's like the Kataka. Kataka nut is the, what I think we use alum. If there are suspended particles in water, if we put this alum in that Kataka nut, it gathers up all the suspended particles and itself also goes down and disappears. Like that, knowledge also is the knowledge which is Laukika knowledge, which removes all the Ajnanam, and that self also goes. What is left is only Jnana Swarupa, which is not the same as Jnanam that we understand in the Jagat. Yapti. So, Bhashakara says, Atra Uttaramidam Bhati cha Vibhati cha iti Katham. This is how. Because everything that is shining in this Jagat is shining because of which then in turn does not require another object to reveal it. Because it is I. I don't need another source of knowledge to know that. All I have to do is, with the available knowledge, remove the ignorance that is layering this knowledge, and I stand revealed. Na tatra surya bhati. Na chandra tarakam. Surya, chandra tarakam, etc. Laukika prakasha. But when you say that I want to, because this reveals everything else in the Jagat, can it reveal also I, the Atma? Sorry. Because Atma is what reveals this. But the presence of the revealing sun, moon, etc., you can infer the presence of Atma. Just like within the Loka, sun is reflected in a reflecting medium and reveals a lot of things in the room. From that, we can infer the presence of the sun, even if I don't see the sun directly. So, Surya na bhati, Chandra tarakam na bhati. And what is considered the most powerful short-lived light is Vidyut. Vidyut means lightning. Although we use Vidyut for electricity, but really it's lightning. Dyuta dhatu. Dyuta is glow, illumine, etc. No Chandra, no stars can reveal this because they are themselves revealed by the Atma. Ima vidyutaha bhanti kutaha. Nor can the very bright lightning reveal this. And then when we show the Aarti, we have a small camphor light. In Shudra. Kutaha ayam agnihi. How is the small camphor light going to reveal the nature of the cell? But it can reveal the form of Ishvara, not the reality of Ishvara. Because tam eva bhanti, there is only one bhanti. There is only one self-revealing source. Everything else is as though reflected light. Tam eva bhantam anubhati sarvam. Everything is only a reflected light, reflected illumination. But there's only one source of light. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Because of that source, idam sarvam, everything in the jagat, vibhati. Now, you have to understand this vibhati is slightly differently from the previous vibhati. Previously, I said visheshena bhati. Here, vividam bhati. In multiple ways, everything is revealed. Sarvam idam vibhati. Everything is revealed by this one source of light, one source of knowledge, one source of everything in the jagat. By that light of knowledge, which is the self, everything seems to be revealed, everything shines in many ways, variously. Let's see what Bhashyakara says. Na tatra
तत्र
tasmin swatma bhute
तस्मिन्
तस्मिन्
स्वात्मभूते
स्वात्मभूते
brahmani sarva avabhasakah
ब्रह्मणि
ब्रह्मणे सर्व
सर्वात्मकः
sarva avabhasakah api
अवभासक अपि
suryah bhati
सूर्यः
सूर्यः
भाति
भाति
tad brahma na prakashayati ityarthah.
तद्ब्रह्म न
न
प्रकाशयति
इत्यर्थः
suryah bhati sarvasya bhasakah api. Suryan reveals everything. But tad brahma na prakashayati. It cannot reveal that Brahman. Surya bhati because it shows everything to us. Like a reflected light. But it does not show the origin of that light. Tasmin swatma bhute brahmani. Whose very nature of Brahman is effulgence. Self-revealing effulgence. This Surya, which can reveal everything else, cannot reveal Brahman. Similarly, tatha na
तथा
chandratarakam,
न चन्द्रतारकम्
सदान्धकारकम्
not only the sun, but moon, stars, etc. None of them can. They all have certain power to reveal what is on this jagat, in the earth. But they cannot reveal what is their own source. They cannot tell us what is their own source. Not even the Vidyut. Vidyut is very sharp, very bright light. In fact, one could be easily blinded if one sees lightning directly. Very powerful. Vidyuto bhanti, that also na bhanti, also cannot reveal consciousness, Brahman, I. Kutaha ayam, let's read this. Kutaha
कुतः
ayam asmad drishti gocharaha agnihi.
अयम् अस्मद्दृष्टिगोचरः अग्निः.
All these are visible to me. The small Agni that I have in the camphor Agni is also visible to me. Any fire is visible to me. That visible fire, asmat drishti gocharaha, to us it is visible. How can that reveal the source? Cannot reveal. Kim bahuna
किं बहुना
yad idam adityadikam sarvam
यत् इदम् आदित्यं सर्वं
bhati tat
भाति
tameva parmeshwaram bhantam
तमेव परमेश्वरं भान्तं
दीप्यमानम
दीप्यमानम्
anubhati anudipyate.
अनुभूति अनुदीप्यते.
Kim bahuna. What to talk of these Surya, Chandra, etc. Yad idam adityadikam. All of these things, sun, moon, stars, fire, lightning, which are seen because of the Atma. Sarvam bhati. Tat tameva parmeshwaram bhantam dipyamanam. How can they reveal? Kim bahuna. How can they reveal? Because they are lit. Tameva parmeshwaram bhantam. They are revealed by this Atma, Parmeshwara. So what you see, all these shine. Anubhati, anudipyate. Their shining comes from only the revelation of the Atma. Atma is there, they are visible. They are knowable. And Bhashyakara then gives an example. Yatha jalolmukadi
यथा जलोन्मुखादि
agni sanyogat
अग्निसंयोगात्
agnim dahantam anudati
अग्निं दहन्तम् अनुदहति
nasvataha tadvat.
न स्वतः तत्
Like water. You heat up water, that water will scald you. Or a firebrand. They are themselves not Agni. But Agni association gives them some properties of Agni. Water by itself will not burn you. But similarly, a firebrand is a borrowed property from the Agni. Yatha jala ulmuka adi. Ulmuka is firebrand. Because of association, Agni sanyogat, agnim dahantam, the ability to burn, anudahati, they borrow that ability to burn from fire. Nasvataha, like they don't have any property of their own of heating, of scalding, of burning. They borrow it from the fire. Even after you removed it from the fire, the water, boiling water can burn you, scald you. But it's not its own property. Tadvat, all these that are revealing the sun, moon, etc., it is not their property. It is borrowed property. Tasya eva bhasa
तस्य एव भाषा
भाषा
Deeptya sarvamidam suryadi vibhati.
दीप्त्या सर्वमिदं सूर्यादि विभाति
Tasya eva bhasa, by its shine. Shine of the consciousness. That bhasa or deeptya, sarvam idam, all these here, surya adi vibhati. They appear to be able to show other things. Yata evam
यत
यत
एवं
एवं
tadeva brahma
तदेव
तदेव
ब्रह्म
bhati cha vibhati cha.
भाति च विभाति च
Therefore, you can understand that this Brahman only, bhati cha vibhati cha, it reveals itself. By seeing everything is being revealed, you know the Brahman is there. Karyagatena
कार्यगतेन
vividena bhasa tasya
विविधेन भाषा तस्य
brahmanaha
ब्रह्मणः
arupatvam svato avagamyate.
भारूपत्वं स्वतो अवगम्यते.
Everything is variously revealed. All the things that are here are karya, are products. Karya gatena, products of karya, vividena bhasa, you see them, tasya brahmanaha, the self-revealing Brahman, Atma, I, bharupatvam, it is nature of being self-revealing, swataha avagamyate, can be known. The answer to Nachiketa's question. By seeing what is things that are revealed in the Jagat, I know there has to be something which is self-revealing behind all of them. That self-revealing one is got to be the I. Because mentally you have to agree that this Sharira, which I have always regarded as I, cannot be I. This Sharira becomes part of the Jagat, what he calls Karyagata. It's a product. The body, mind, sense, etc., are products. But I still exist. And these are all only being revealed by that I which I'm trying to understand. That vividena bhasa tasya brahmanaha bhasrupatvam swataha avagamyate is known by itself. It has to be a revealer. Why? Because in the Jagat we see a ghata cannot reveal anything. Only that which is, so now we come to the Laukika world, universe. Even in this Laukika universe, a ghata which is an opaque object cannot reveal anything else. But the Surya, which is a effulgent body, a luminous body, can reveal other things. But what you have to understand is that Surya itself is being revealed by something else. That something else has to be effulgent. Like the Surya has to be effulgent to reveal other things in this Jagat, both effulgent and non-effulgent. Surya itself is being revealed by something. This is what is said the whole mantra. That has to be effulgent. So he says, Nahi swataha
नहि स्वतः
avidyamanam bhasanam
अविद्यमानं भासनं
anyasya kartum shakyam.
अन्यस्य कर्तुं शक्यम्.
If it is not one which is effulgent body, it cannot reveal anything else. We see this in the Jagat. Only a body which is effulgent can reveal other things. That effulgent body, sun, moon, fire, etc., in the Jagat sphere, in the universe, we see that as being able to illuminate other things, illumine other things. That itself is illumined with something else. that also has to be self-effulgent. Ghatadinam
Ghatatinam
anya avabhasakatva
Anya
avabhasakatva
adarshanath.
Adarshana
Because anything which is not self, by itself a luminous body, we see in the world that it cannot reveal other things. So if the sun has to be revealed, it has been revealed by something which is luminous, which does not require anything else to show it. That Atma, that self, is what we are looking for. It will reveal itself. Bharupanam cha
arupanam cha
adityadinam
adityanam
tad-darshanat.
tad-darshanat.
So a opaque object like a ghata cannot reveal anything else. But a bharupa object like a sun, moon, fire, etc., adityadinam, we can see that they reveal other things. So with that example, Bhashyakara says, that which reveals the sun, moon, etc., has to be a self-effulgent body. Not even body. Body gives us the wrong impression. Has to be a revealer, has to be self-effulgent, and does not require anything else to show it. Iti Panchamavalli Bhashyam. Panchamavalli, because we've done 3 vallis in the first chapter. This is the 4th and 5th valli. We have 1 more valli to go, which will start in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam
Purnamidam
Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti
Shanti Shanti
Hare
Yo
Om.
Narayana. धन्यवादः
नमस्काराः
Om Swamiji.
Om.
Om